Hello and welcome to Clairvoyant Conversations. I'm Solreta Antaria. So we'll just wait for a couple of people to join our chat. Just getting started here. Um, Today has been really busy. So I started out the day with a show on Beyond Mystic, which was so much fun. It was actually a show on Kundalini. So talking about Kundalini rising, and we were talking about the chakras, talking about the energy system, and talking about how to kind of like work with the foundation of this energy system. So that was really exciting. So for anyone who missed that show this morning, it was on Beyond Mystic, which you can find on YouTube. And we also did a hidden secret second part that was on Patreon, where we dove a little bit deeper. Hi ladies. So what we'll do tonight, so I was just saying for those that have just joined, I've just done another show this morning that was on Beyond Mystic. So it was on Kundalini. So we were talking about Tantra, talking about sexual energy, and talking about kind of how to use that energy. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, today has been a day of talking, but I still have enough voice left for tonight. So let's have a look at what's happening in the coming week. And we'll also, we'll do some live readings as well. All right, so let's have a look. So this is for the coming week. What is it that we need to be aware of, or what is it that we are coming into for the next coming week as a collective? Okay, so let's have a look. All right, so the energies that I'm getting at the moment are, feels like going from earth into water. And what I mean by that is earth is quite a grounding type element, and water is kind of like about going with flow. Water can also represent emotion. I'm seeing a lot of green and blue as well. So there's a lot of healing coming up through this week that we're going into around heart chakra. So a little bit of healing around that. But I'm hearing spirit talk about going with the flow. So let's also have a look. Yeah, lessons around the heart. I'm also hearing like lessons around like intellect and things. So they're talking about, it's possibly like reframing or looking at some things around love in a different intellectualized form. So this is about looking into patterns. I feel this is also coming up. Let's flip these cards. All right, so the first card that we've got is the Princess of Cups. So you can see she's kind of like got one lot of energy that she's tuning into in this way. So this is what we're perceiving and feeling around like this intellectual side, but then she's bringing in, sort of making gifts of it. She's bringing her wisdom to the earth, and this I guess intellectual side of things is really kind of coming down and making sense upon the earth too. So let's flip this middle card. So this is the one that I was seeing kind of like with that transition going from earth into water in a way. So this is kind of disappointment. So I do feel there is a little bit kind of happening with relationships. So at the moment, this is about respecting the other person's space. It's also about like holding strong to your truth, because we have these clear cups in the middle. This is not a time to sort of like step into fear and things. It's a time to like lovingly hold space. There's old systems and old programming that's kind of like falling away. And the final card is sorrow. So there is a couple of things coming up around relationships, but this is also about speaking your truth. But it's about doing it from a place of honor and respect. It's not from a place of kind of like sourness or bitterness or like resentfulness. It really is kind of like bringing things up like an unpacking of sorts. So I hope that that helps. That's kind of some of the energies we're just diving into quickly around next week. So we'll start to answer some questions. Oh yeah, so for so Donna's saying, hello everyone from the US. That sounds great. I need to check it out. So yeah, those who may have missed, oh, hi Sana. Lovely to see you on here. So I was just saying there was a show that I was on this morning called Beyond Mystic, and we were talking about Tantra and talking about Kundalini. And so there's this new series that I'm filming with Jean-Claude, who does that show, and we're talking about sexual energy, talking about like embodying that sexual energy, working with that Tantra energy. So it's a really exciting series that we're doing at the moment. I do also do readings on there, usually every week to 2 weeks. I'll appear on there. All right, let's have a look. Laura Gilchrist, let's pick a card for you. All right. So we're going to try and get to some questions. All right, so Laura, what I'm actually feeling for you right now, what I'm seeing sort of like in front of your face and coming to you in a consciousness level, I'm actually seeing like the energy of dolphins wanting to connect to you. So dolphins are a beautiful spirit animal as well as a physical animal. When they come to us, they represent that beautiful heart energy. They represent that kind of playfulness. Dolphins will also usually pick a mate for life. You know, they're part of a pod, so they're part of like a harmonious kind of family consciousness space too. And I'll just see what else we get. All right, so they're talking about something around like the mental part of the aura, and I'm seeing like a lot of goldeny yellow color around kind of like that halo area or around that. They're talking about having the difference between like a higher mind or higher self and the difference between having that intellectual self. And they're talking at the moment, it's about kind of like ridding of old programs. So old things that would you would react to. They're just talking about it's time to kind of come at it from like a higher perspective or a higher mindset. So we'll flip this card. So yeah, we've got Ace of Wands. So instead of being triggered from like old pains and different things and having different things set you off, it's really good to tune into that source energy and really good to kind of tune into that heart energy. So yeah, meditating on that image of the dolphin is what I'm sort of like really connecting with, because the dolphins are kind of like helping you transition into this like higher consciousness and this different kind of like playful heart chakra energy. You can even ask the dolphins for healing in like meditation. So you can get some meditations or some music that has dolphin and whale sounds. So this can also be good to play. So let's pick another card. Hello to everyone just joining us. Thank you for joining us. For anyone that's wanting a 1 hour private reading as well, I have bookings on my website for whichever time zone you're in. So we do aura drawings, we do cards, we speak to the guides, we have time to answer all of your questions. So we have Gail Brockleman. Yes, please. Can I have a card on my spiritual path and how I can enhance my readings? All right. So I'm seeing mediumship come up for you at the moment. The other thing that I'm also seeing is I'm seeing like a still bowl of water, and it's what I would call sort of like water skiering. So say like you've got your bowl of water and you look in at kind of like the flatness. And what I'm actually seeing that, because I feel that your guides are giving you different lessons. So whether you're feeling guided to explore like a different avenue or a different subject each week, but what I'm seeing with this is they're showing me water skiering. So looking into that bowl of water or that pool of water, and there's an entrancement that happens. And what I mean by that is there's sort of like a different kind of brainwave that kicks in, or a different theta state that kicks in when you actually become entranced with the water. So what I mean by that is just like in hypnotherapy, how we can kind of like pop someone into a state. There's something to do with looking into the water, or looking, you could even do it with a candle flame, but specifically they're showing me water that kind of like clicks you into state where your readings, the information becomes there's less distance for spirit to travel, is what I'm hearing and seeing in regards to that. So let's have a look at this card. Yeah, so what I'm feeling is that being like a different sort of like avenue to kind of connect to spirit in a different way. It helps to take you out of like one brain state and pop you into another. So we'll flip this card. This is cool. This is the card of the Hermit. So this is really going to help you to kind of like shine light on your gifts. The other thing that I saw with this too is it's like when you go into kind of like that hermit cave type situation, that's you like quietening everything down so that you can bring this light out into the world and bring this gift out into the world as well that we see. The other thing is that it really is about you tapping into this inner magic that you have. I'm also feeling guided to pick you another card out of my other deck. So let's grab one of these. Wisdom. Look at this. You've got wisdom pretty much shown in 2 cards, sort of like a bit of a hermit. So in the wisdom card, and this is out of my deck that I have for sale on my website, it says, connect to the flow of divine universal wisdom as though it was a calm flowing river. So you can see she's kind of like immersed in this cascading waterfall, or almost like floating kind of in a river. Imagine like floating in a pool of knowledge. So this is really about you tapping into like that. And water, as we were saying before, represents emotion. So you might be quite empathic, Gail, and this could also be why they're getting you to work with water to kind of trigger that emotional empath response. So I hope that this helps. Look forward to hearing like about how you're going with that all too. All right, hello to everyone just joining us. Vicky Maya, needs some guidance, please. All right, let's have a look. As soon as I start to tune into your energy, Gail, Vicky, what I'm feeling is like a rocking from side to side. I'm just getting spirit kind of like sway with me. And what they're talking about at the moment, I'm feeling like what looks to be like a field of wildflowers that are sort of just kind of like flowing in the wind. And they're talking about like glow. Oh, that's interesting. It's an interesting play on words. They're saying glow with the flow. So it's not go with the flow, it's GLOW. So they're talking about glow with the flow. So this is really about not only going with the flow in things, it's really like having your soul's energy switched on, and that's starting to kind of like dance and sway with this flower energy of what I'm seeing. So wildflowers in essence are medicine, because they do come up like weeds and different things. A lot of the time weeds and different wild herbs and flowers will have much stronger medicine than things that we plant in our natural gardens or our gardens like around the house. So quite often if there's a certain medicine that you need, sometimes you'll find weeds growing in your garden. And when you look at that garden and you look at the properties of that plant, a lot of the time they will actually have different mineral components, different health components that help you, and that maybe even like help to kind of like rectify different situations that are going on. So remembering they were talking about glow and sort of going with the flow, and they're talking about wildflowers, which is sort of that medicine. And I'm really feeling that it's like medicine for the soul. So they're talking about like taking on what is it that's giving you that medicine for the soul at the moment. You need to kind of like follow that, is what Spirit's showing me. So let's have a look for you, Vicky, in the cards. When I close my eyes, I'm seeing a giant iris. And what I mean by that is there could be something that you're looking into on a physical body healing level. And what I'm seeing with the iris, or that eye, is iridology. So iridology is the study of the eye, and it also represents a holographic image of the full entire body and all the organ system. So based on like different marks and different things on the iris, you'll be able to tell like if stomach is out, if spleen's out, if lymphatic system is struggling. So I'm seeing this also connected to do with your reading tonight. Dr. Robert Morse also has some really great YouTube videos on iridology and on health. So let's also see what else we get. The other thing I'm sort of feeling is like a little bit of, feels like my neck needs like a stretch, or it feels like it's kind of out. So I'm not sure whether you've had like anything around neck or around kind of like holding tension, because it feels sort of like a tension filled sensation or feeling. So let's flip this card. And this is cool. So we were talking about like glowing and glowing with the flow. So I feel that this is the result of when you start to glow. So can you see this is the Ace of Cups? And look at the glow in this card. I don't think we have a card apart from the Sun, which isn't even possibly glowing as much as this. So this is almost like a cup of medicine. And you can see there's kind of like a spiritual connected web on the top. There's like a flow of light. So this is transforming and bringing this light energy into the body as well. So a very, very cool card. Let's have a look. So we've got Carrie. Hi, lovely soul. Would love a reading if you're drawn tonight. I'm not sure what direction I should take with my career. Any guidance would be grateful. All right, I do see you at a crossroad. Thank you for the lovely message too. So let's have a shuffle and see what we get with this. So this is for Carrie. Oh, there's a card jumping out. All right. Oh, okay, so this is interesting. I'm seeing what looks to be like a yellow kind of like sign in front of me, but I'm seeing like what looks to be like a broom you know how there's that game where you have to jump over the broomstick? I'm not sure quite what that is, but I'm seeing this like a little bit of a challenge. And as you go to jump, it's like a bit of a broomstick coming up. So it feels like when you kind of like try to go in one direction, I feel like there's a tiny bit of a block. Or when you go in another, it's like the bar changes height again. But what I'm seeing is this is the self-imposed bar that you might be setting for yourself. So this is actually on a deeper level. Instead of just looking into career path, this is actually about looking about your limitations that might be self-imposed and what more is there to learn around that. So this is about really working with confidence and working with I guess like your self limitations and really starting to stretch and expand that. So I'm going to flip this card. Okay, this is perfect. Remember how we just talked about like there's a broom or there's something kind of blocking? So this was for Carrie. So see this kind of like line here? This is what I'm seeing as kind of like this broom, and she's trying to birth this new thing into the world or onto the earth, but there's this kind of line that's stopping. But you can see, so she's got her higher self there. There's the lasso that's going around all of these other heads or like these voices that are connected to her, like in the head. So this essentially is really about controlling your own mind, your emotions. This is about overcoming your own limitations or self-imposed limitations. So I hope that that helps. Okay. Sana, I would love to have a card in this for this now moment. Things are bizarre, would be grateful. Thank you, beautiful. You're so welcome. I'm sending you so much love. And I know that you're in a different time zone as well. So let's pick this card for you. All right, so the first thing that I'm seeing is just like spirit sending you kisses, and I'm seeing them come directly out of the heart, and that heart energy is presenting as yellow and gold, which spirit is sending you higher forms of love. The other thing that I'm feeling as well is interesting. I'm feeling like these bones around here. I'm not sure if there's any like sinusy stuff or things going on to do with the psychic level. So this, and I think I've talked about this with you before about like, you know, this is kind of like where the psychic senses are seated in a way, and there's a lot of acupuncture points. So some of these acupuncture points, especially like around here, relate to stomach. So just paying attention to if there's anything that you've got in your diet at the moment that could be like upping the level of anxiety. So making sure there's nothing that's going to sort of spike your blood sugar or drop your blood sugar. Sometimes grains can interact a little bit. Sometimes, you know, certain foods might sort of spike those blood sugars as well. So let's have a look with this card if there's anything else. All right, so what I'm sort of feeling at the moment, I'm seeing Jupiter's planetary influence come in, and I'm seeing this sort of like bring things to your attention. So they're showing me there's an expansion of things that are kind of needing to be shifted or needing to be like refocused at the moment. I'm seeing these sort of things come up. Oh, Laura's saying she loves dolphins as well. So yeah, Jupiter's kind of bringing to attention things that might need to be changed, or old patterns or old kind of like things to kind of spotlight or show attention on at the moment. So we have, oh, how's this? We've got that same card, which is interesting because like in this card, when I talked about Jupiter, I guess that would represent this ball in the middle, this orange ball. So again, this is kind of like dealing with those different areas in life with these little heads that we were talking about before. So how interesting that that's come up. All right, let's have a look. So Keisha Marie would love a reading. Let's grab one for you, Keisha. All right, the first thing that I'm seeing come up is a lot of like peace, but more on a heart level. And I feel that there's a spirit is talking about getting a comfortable state of peace within your own heart's energy, and kind of like setting your own tempo is the words that I'm seeing around the moment. And I'm seeing like what's I don't know what they're called. It's like one of those musician like a clock timer that sort of like sets the rhythm or sets the tone. I'm seeing one of those kind of like pendulum things. So let's see what we get card wise. Okay, they're talking about setting like a happy new medium in the way of like which your heart resonates. So they're talking about that there's like a new system or a new kind of like beat that you're setting, and not to go with anything that's kind of like out of line with your heart is what I'm seeing, or out of tune would be a better choice of words. So let's flip this card. So we've got the card of oppression. So this is about using your confidence to stand up in direct alignment with your higher self, to have, be, and deserve that which you know that you are. So this is about self-worth. This is kind of like about shining your light. It's about doing it in a, how would I say? Not just with a level of confidence, with a level of like knowing and surety that you are who you are. You deserve the best. And it's really about getting more in conscious connection with spirit and activating this within the heart too. So it's like knowing your own truth in your heart is the energy that I get around this. And they're telling me to pick a card out of this other deck. So I will flip this one because it's one of mine. Sacred knowledge. This is about trusting that sacred knowledge within. What gifts do you have to bring to the world as well? Maybe taking stock or writing about it. And it says, sacred knowledge is timeless and exists for everyone. Go within for answers. So this is really about listening to your heart's wisdom at the moment. All right, so let's see. So Catherine Bolt, let's pick a card for you, Catherine. All right. All right, I'm seeing beings of protection around you at the moment, a little bit, Catherine. So I'm not sure if there's maybe like a possible, like a bit of strength that you feel that you need to summon at the moment, but calling on the beautiful cat beings and the lion beings, they help to bring in protection and help to bring in strength. I'm seeing them around you at the moment. So really like feeling they're kind of like nourishing and nurturing. Also like cats, as in animal cats as well. So let's also see, let's feel into this. Yeah, every time I close my eyes, I'm hearing the Lion King song. In the jungle, the lion jungle, the mighty, the lion sleeps tonight. I'm hearing that song come up. So this is usually around calling in the lion beings. So these would be guides that are around you in your aura. Oh, you're so welcome, Laura. Let's also see what we get in this card. But yeah, I'm feeling there's like bubbles of emotion sort of like coming up and things around willpower. So I feel that the lion energies are also to get you to hold strong, like in conviction to self. So let's turn this. Yeah. So you might feel that things might feel like a little bit out of control at the moment. This is about sort of just getting that pillar of strength that the lion energies bring in to get you back on track and to kind of like flow your name. Oh, sorry, this is reading comment. Oh, thank you, Lauren. Yeah, and this is about just getting you back on track, getting you back into your heart center, getting you back and working with source. It's also really like starting to manifest again is something else that's coming up in that card. Oh, thanks, Keisha. Someone was just saying they love my name and someone else saying love hair color. Thank you for all the love tonight, everyone. That's so beautiful. Let's see. So we've got Lauren Donny. I hope I'm saying your name right. Let's see. We have, all right, so for Lauren, what message do we need to know right now? All right, so what I'm actually seeing, Lauren, is I'm seeing what looks to be, how would I say this? Like an old, there's a couple of cards, I'm just picking the one that's resonating the most. So what I'm seeing is an old pool or an old pond. And you know, sometimes like if we possibly leave like a fish pond that's outside for a little bit too long before it gets cleaned. Oh, thank you, Kat, sending stars. So when we leave a pond outside for too long and it starts to grow algae in it and it becomes like a little bit neglected, sometimes it won't be the healthiest and it might smell a little bit, and we really like, we'll see it and we'll be like, okay, we really need to clean that up. That's sort of what I'm seeing, but like around something to do with love. So I feel that there's possibly things that you need to say like emotionally to get it off your chest, and it's time to have like a little bit of an emotional clean out is what I'm seeing in that way. So let's flip this card. Yeah, there's time for like reflection around relationships for you. So really looking at what you want on a higher level, maybe even possibly like writing your list on a higher level of like, this is what I want to bring into life. This is like what I feel that my boundaries are. This is like what I aspire to be, do, and have in regards to like, yeah, relationships and things. So, oh, I'm just also seeing, Lauren is also saying you would like a reading for career would be potent as I'm soon leaving my job. What's interesting is the relationship side of things is coming up for you more so than what career is at the moment. So I would also see if that relates into your career zone. So whether there's like old things that you need to clean out, or whether you need to perhaps like recraft your resume and look at like your values and things like that as well, because you're saying you want to find something that values your self-worth. Okay, so this could also be why they're talking about in regards to pond, but I feel that this pond representation comes into a few areas at the moment. So I hope that that helps. So we've got Therese or Teresa. Please can I have a card for the first time? XO, need positive energy for my mental, physical health problems. All right. So the first thing that I tap into when I go to pick a card for you is I'm taken to around my heart, and I actually feel like something's kind of like draining the energy. So it feels almost like a little bit chronic fatigue. I'm also sort of feeling it in kind of like a blood slash lymphatic toxicity level. So this in a way will kind of make you feel like possibly like a bit fatigued, a little bit flat. If we look at kind of like the root cause, or we look below the surface of all the different things that are happening, because I feel that it's more than just one thing happening in terms of health, we really need to work on like detoxification and on kind of like toxic cleanup. So we've talked quite a few times on my shows to do with this. So I highly recommend looking at Dr. Robert Morse's work. We want to really clean out candida, because when we have candida, hi beautiful Claire, lovely to see you on here. So when we work with cleaning out cellular toxicity, this also will help to clear up the symptoms that come from this, which is all the other things that we just described. So let's flip this card. Yeah, Valua. So we've got this beautiful purple background. I'm really seeing sort of like a bit of a cleanup that needs to happen, but you need to come into leadership around your own health and start to take control and command of your health is what I'm seeing, and bringing yourself into alignment. This is also really about looking at your body as the temple and looking at the cellular side. So we've got this background, which I feel relates to that cellular expression. Yeah, really, really interesting with this card, because it's like once you kind of like step into alignment with working with like your physical self and connecting with that higher self and really treating the body as a temple, other things start to come in, like different medicines, different connections. Then there's different energy that you start to feel, and it lets you apply it a lot more, is what I'm seeing. Oh, you're welcome, Vicky. Oh, Sue Reynolds. Hello from the UK. Can I have some career guidance, please? Let's have a look. All right. So, Sue, when I'm coming to you, I'm actually getting some things come up that I'm feeling sort of like upper torso, chest, shoulders, and neck. I feel like there's a lot of tension that you're holding at the moment, and I'm feeling like your jaw's really tight, like you might be sort of gritting your teeth a little, or whether like you're grinding your teeth at nighttime. But the overall message that the body is giving me is to do with stress. So I'm not sure like whether work might be put on pause over there for you, but I'm just feeling that there's a lot of tension and stress in the body. I'm even feeling it sort of in that womb space area. So really like learning different techniques on how to kind of like release this stress, and I feel that that will also flow career opportunities, because I'm seeing when you let go of the stress and you learn how to kind of release that, I'm seeing a lot of gold energy come in, which is that abundance energy, because I feel at the moment there's a lot of concentration focused on stress, and when we sort of like release that, then you can set that intention and focus on it towards other things. So we'll flip this card. Yeah. So we've got the stress coming up in this card, which is worry. So let's pop that back in quickly, and we'll pick a card to represent when you focus on relaxing and letting go. So we'll pretend as though you're already doing that now, and we'll see what comes. And there's a card jumping out that I can feel. Let's have a look. Even just touching this card and breathing, I feel my body start to let go and unwind. So we'll flip this. Look at this, the difference when you start to let go of the stress. You've got the Empress card. This is really like about going back to your heart center. It's about looking into something that you feel drawn in your heart as well. It's really beautiful. It's so heart-centered, this pink and the green that we have with it. We have the swan. attending to these beautiful babies. She's a nurturer. We're also working with different cycles as well. So please be easy on yourself as well. Yeah, hope that helps. All right, so we've got Katarina Ann. Hi, I would be grateful for a reading, please. All right. Around work and business. Oh, this is interesting. I'm actually seeing a couple of little like handmade products. I'm not sure if there's something that you are passionate about on the side, or like something that you've perhaps like crafted, or like a concept that you're thinking about making. But I'm seeing sort of like love coming in, or like doing something on the side. So this could be about the opportunity to have a hobby take off, or to be able to kind of like make some money on the side. So let's see what we get with this. Yeah, I feel like it's not only like a good passion, because I'm seeing an energy which looks to be the vibration of green with yellow, which represents sort of like the intellect and heart working together. And I'm seeing that coming on the left-hand side. So paying attention to if there's any inspirational ideas around something that you could possibly be making. So let's flip this card. Look at this. We just talked about sort of like a yellow and a green. And this is coming in with inspiration. We've got the air coming in with this as well. So paying attention to ideas that might just feel like they're drawing or dropping into your lap at the moment. So I'd love to hear if there's anything that you're thinking about, but I'm not sort of seeing like, they're showing me, it more feels that there's something else coming in. So be on the lookout for like that side gig, or whether it's something that you're looking at doing on a more full-time basis. Let's see. Okay, so Beverly French. Hi, Sol. I would love a card. I think it was on business and things. Sorry, guys, my comments are flicking up because there's a lot of people on here. So, Beverly, let's pick a card for you. So, we're looking around business, we're looking around work. All right, they're telling me you're in two minds. They're telling me that you're flipping from present into future, future into present. They're talking about stop, just settle like in the here and now, and standing. Oh, thank you, Sana. Sana's just saying that was perfect. Thank you, sweet. So Beverly, oh, there's a card jumping out as well. There's two cards. So we were talking about present and we were talking about future. So very quickly with the present, I'm seeing a lot to do with like mental kind of clarity, and I'm also seeing sort of like stepping into like that confidence and into that passion a little bit more. And I'm almost seeing like what looks to be someone behind like the racing line, ready to kind of like run out and make a change. I feel like it's like really hungry for change. And then I'm also getting the card to do with the future, which almost feels like a calm patience, and it feels almost like a bit of trust. And I'm feeling to bring that into the present. So let's flip these cards. Oh, this is so funny. So this is that out of the, like, out of the tracks I was just saying. This is this energy to do with like, just wanting to kind of like break, like ready to like pretty much like rock and roll, ready to kind of like rumble. So we have that here. And then we have the card of oppression. So there's something more to learn about the future. I don't feel like it's the right time. Bring it into the now. Start to really connect with yourself. Let's also get you a card out of here just to kind of change it up a little. Cooperation. It's really about bringing your present and your future together. Bring it into cooperation. So this might be that you're living a little bit too much into the future. When you're manifesting and creating, you want to bring it into present. So I feel that that's the main message behind that. So letting go of ego, meet in the space of the heart, and operate and connect from the higher mind. Oh, so Teresa asking where I'm from. So I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I wasn't sure if you're asking in an ET sense. For those that are asking the ET sense, more connected to the Pleiades and to Sirius. Let's see. So we've got, I'm just getting drawn also to Tracy. So if you feel cold, I would love a reading on guidance. Let's have a look. So Tracy, Okay, Tracy, what I'm feeling with you with guidance at the moment, I'm actually feeling like, I'm not sure if you've felt like a little bit cut off or secluded, but I actually feel like energetically I'm sort of sitting in a house, but I feel kind of alone or disconnected. Spirit is telling me for you to make connections, and even if you don't perhaps feel like it, to make more of a connection to, there's some people that you need to call. So whether you're thinking about calling some people or you feel that you've been putting it off, Spirit showing me this kind of like lifting you. Oh, thank you, Amanda, as well, for sending stars. That's so sweet of you. We'll try and get to your question. All right, so what I'm seeing is a lot of pink and green. Spirit's really trying to lift your spirits at the moment. And I'm hearing it. I'm hearing Spirit say, pick up the phone. I feel that there's people that you need to call, or whether your intuition's told you to connect to people a few times. But what I'm seeing with that is, I'm just going to just delete something, guys. Bear with me. Yeah, so what I'm seeing is Spirit really encouraging you to trust your information, trust your heart. And I feel that it's going to lift not only you up, but this other person up as well. It could even be maybe you felt like a little bit distance from someone for a little bit, but I'm just getting guidance around that at the moment is like one of the first and foremost things. So we've got this, which is kind of that disconnect that we were talking about, sort of being in your own world a little bit too. So paying attention to that, and I hope that that helps. And let me see if I can tap back in. All right, so we had the person that just sent some stars. I'm sorry, I've lost your name on there. It might have been Lauren. I'm just going to pick some cards for who it was that just sent stars. There's a lot of like deep focus and concentration. If everyone wants to take a breath, I feel like a lot of people are like wanting cards at the moment. And this is also because there's a lot coming up this year. We've got a lot of planetary alignments, we've got a lot of retrogrades, we've got a lot of things that we're cosmically working through at the moment. So just everyone taking a deep breath. Wow, that feels different already. It's so amazing how you can collectively like feel energy. Yes, we do have a troll on, unfortunately. I've just, thank you. That's okay. So hopefully, thank you everyone. You're so beautiful and protective. I love it. So I'm just gonna have a look in this card as well and see what we get. All right, so I'm just seeing, so the person who sent me stars just before, I think it was Lauren. So what I'm feeling around this, I'm actually seeing like you actually soaking up a lot of people's energy. And what I mean by that is like very empathic. They're talking about learning how to kind of like separate self from the energy of everyone else. And I feel like this is something that you were born with, like feeling sensitive or feeling kind of like in tune or sometimes like overwhelmed with different things. So let's flip this over. Yeah, so we've got Princess of Swords here, and I'm just going to do some work at the same time as well as describe this. So with this card, you can see that she's standing on the chimney and she's in the color of the heart. So she's got good intentions and everything. Oh, sorry guys. This is so yeah, you can see that there's like good intentions with the green here, and we've got this sort of like golden yellow color. With this, I feel that it's more around learning. So it's learning like when to put up that kind of like boundary or putting up that border of protection, knowing when you need to actually like top up your own tank and you need to kind of like go into self-managing mode. Oh, thank you, Claire. So yeah, I hope that that helps. I feel like there's more questions that you have. But I don't feel that Spirit's going into it on here. It could be something maybe of a personal nature or something that might come up as general on here, but you might want to ask like more in a personal manner. So Elise Abul Murad, let's pick a card for you. You have such beautiful energy. I'm seeing like little, almost like little rosebuds coming out of the heart. And I feel that you send them to people. It's like when you feel people perhaps like down or that they need like a little boost. I'm just seeing you sending love from your heart. It's really beautiful. I actually see that you could be working doing cards and things as well. But you need to like give yourself more confidence and trust in your abilities. I also feel that it's in your family is what I'm being shown like as we talk about this. So let's have a look. What do we need to know right now? All right, so I'm hearing the words and hearing something around connecting to do with like feeling to stand up for yourself. So I feel like there's just a couple of little things at the moment that are coming up, and it might be just like asserting your boundaries or sort of saying, you know, this is kind of the line that I draw. So let's have a look what we get with this. Yeah, I feel it's that you give so many chances and you find it sort of like hard to cut off from those chances is what I'm seeing. So let's flip this card. Yeah, this is about deeper reflection. There's a lot of heart energy in this. There's a lot of emotion. There's healing as well. So taking some time to reflect and think about your boundaries. Yeah. Oh, Lauren. So Lauren's saying thank you. You have a lot on. Yeah, I felt that with you at the moment. So just thinking about you and just sending you love and just taking some time out for yourself. All right. Alicia McGuinness, let's pick a card for you. I love your name. So cute. All right. All right. So what I'm seeing around you is there's some kind of like issue around healing, but I feel like it's around head or around, they're saying the word mind. So there might be something that you're looking to kind of like work on, or whether you're delving into kind of looking into different patterns or looking into something around like the psyche is the image that they're sort of giving me at the moment. So let's see what else we get around this. I'm also seeing like a doorway. When I open it up, it's gold, and I'm feeling that gold energy kind of like imparts and starts to infuse with me, and I feel like I'm being transformed in this, although I'm only seeing sort of like the front part of my face and chest being transformed. So I feel like it's impacting around the heart and impacting around the mind. And when I'm opening this door, I'm kind of almost blinded by this gold, is what I'm sort of seeing around this. But I feel that the back part of me, it's like part of me is starting to walk into this energy is what they're showing me. So I flip this card. Look at this. We've got this one again. So this one is the Ace of Cups. So really starting to step into that golden energy and that doorway that we've got here as well. All right. So I hope that helps. Phil, hey, how are you? Let's pick a card for you. All right. All right, so the first thing that I start to feel with you, Phil, I'm seeing swirls. There's pink here. It feels like a big piece of art. There's like pink and it goes into green, then there's red. And it's these fractal kind of swirls. And I'm feeling that this is this art that you have within you. And I'm feeling it like around your chest, and then spirit's dropping it down around solar plexus. But when I like go from like the comfortability of the heart and the language of the heart, what I'm feeling like around stomach is it's kind of like there's like a bit of a block or a barrier around there. So this is really about like spirit giving you the message of like painting like this image or painting this kind of like emotion, this music, but it's learning to get comfortable within it, not just within the heart space, comfortable within it, sort of like that merger or that area between heaven and earth. So it's about bringing it down, that passion, and it's about kind of like speaking it and bringing it into existence, because I'm seeing it come out as words. So it's like the word abracadabra or abracadabra. This is about speaking your wisdom and your magic onto the earth is what I'm feeling with this. And I'm seeing these colors kind of like etherically dance around. And when we speak that magic onto the world, they're saying world stage, we're getting orange come up. I'm seeing you sort of like shine more, embracing like a Leo type energy. So kind of like borrowing or getting a lens of like that sun Leo type energy. So let's see also what we have in this card. It's interesting though, when I hold my hand over this card, I'm also feeling the element of water. So this is really about like creating more of an abundance flow state from the solar plexus. So the solar plexus is that central part of our body that's connected to the navel, connected kind of to the belly button area. And I feel like I'm speaking to a few of you at this point in time as well. So what I'm seeing is, if we think about how like our placenta was attached, and this fed us, this helped us to grow for 9 months in the womb. It provided everything that we need. And what I'm hearing spirit say is, if you can imagine that etheric umbilical cord being connected to like the to our earth and connected to like the universe and spirit, is that nourishment, that abundance is still there, but we've forgotten that we're kind of like sucking on the straw of that abundance. So we feel that we're cut off from abundance, or feel that we're cut off from spirit. So they're really talking about meditating on this energy and feeling that abundant life force energy go directly into that solar plexus chakra. And then it's like about digesting it and bringing it up and utilizing it through the rest of the chakras. So let's flip this. Oh my God, Phil, look at this. You're going to freak out over this. The Hierophant. I know you'll freak out over that. All we need now is like a 555 for you. And I know that you would freak out over that. That is really cool. Remember, we just talked about like assimilating it into the other chakras as well. So this is remembering that you're connected to spirit. And not only has this gone from sort of like a yellow state of the solar plexus, this is shining gold. This is not only abundance, this is like abundant to the max. There's, trumpets in the background and things going off as well. This is about, exceeding expectations. Not only is it about like a trickle of abundance, this is like a floodgate of abundance. So this is what spirit is saying that you have on access to you. So really, I want you to like meditate on that and feel that message filter in. Feel that you're being fed spiritually from the universe and from our beautiful planet that we're on as well. And also feel that love, because I'm seeing it like a utero type situation. And it's like, when you're in your mother's belly, there's a lot of people that want to come up and like tell you how much they love you before you're even born. And it's the same with like spirit guides working with us, and with the angelics and everything that work with us. They try and like get through to us this beautiful message that we have love and we have abundance. But being like in this inner world, we don't always hear what that outside spiritual realm has for us. But if you listen to spirit and listen to that realm, you'll get a much deeper message. So let's also, and thank you for everyone blocking. I saw you said, Therese, as well, that you helped block. All right, so Phil, let's see also what this deck has for you. So in my Syrian Star card deck, paying attention to intuition. And look at the frequency, look at the beacon of energy coming from this. So it says, access the answers from your heart. Let your intuition guide you to make the best choice. So I feel that this is sort of like about getting out of your head and really tuning into that kind of spiritual intuition. The Hierophant, there's not much more to say about that. So let's have a look. Oh, Sue, thank you. Yes, work is on pause now, and I have extreme worry. So you were very correct. So I'm just sending you love with that, and just know that, there is a lot of people in that situation at the moment too. Breathe. Spirit is really saying to breathe at the moment, because it's quite hard. A lot of people are in that situation, unfortunately. Use it as a time to develop or add new skills. Try and really use the time for advantage. If you can, so that you can come out of this with going, oh, this is what I achieved in this time. Use it as like a time of productivity, even if it means just like completing a book on a subject that that you want to learn more on. All right, so Amanda Stevens would love to know if I'm on the right path, please. All right, so let's pick one representing path for you. And I am seeing a fork at the end of the road, but I'm seeing the path looks long. So imagining the letter Y, which is like long, and then it sort of goes like this and forks. So what I'm seeing is you're sensing and starting to pick up on possible change in the future, but at the moment right now, it's sort of like this steady pace. Like I feel like it's walking like one foot in front of the other, and it feels like quite a while. Oh, Beverly's also saying, haha, jumping in and out of the future. That's so funny. Thank you so much. So it sounds like you're resonating with that. All right, so let's see what we have with this card. All right, so we've got that long straightened path with the fork in the road. I still feel like there's something at the moment you might be starting to think like in terms of 5-year plan, and Spirit is showing me like preparing for this at the moment. And I'm just going to flip this card. Yeah, change. But I still feel that change is like a little bit off. But you can bring change in a lot closer if you start to like work out a plan and you start to kind of like bring that future in towards yourself, which we did mention for, I think it was Beverly as well. So I hope that that helps. All right. So Annette Hobson, let's have a look. Anything for you? Okay, I'm going to pop this card in. Spirit's like undecided with you, Annette. There's a couple of different areas that Spirit's wanting to pick for at the moment. I feel like there's a lot going on for you, or like a lot of thoughts, a lot of doubts, a lot of second guessing, a lot of questions. They're telling me to pick a card on clarity. All right. I'm also seeing Spirit write down like different categories. They're talking about starting to get it down out of your head and onto paper. Tracy, thank you. That was very accurate. Thank you. So let's see what we have with this card. So I'm just hearing Spirit talk about the word clarity. We're going to flip this. Look at this. We've got the card of satiety, and we just talked about writing things in different columns. So when you write your different like columns, Annette, so what I'm feeling with this is that you'll get like a different light shine on it when you start to bring it down from from that mental level. You'll start to get that light shine on it. You'll start to have a bit of self-compassion for self too, and you'll be a bit more patient with self as well, is what I'm feeling in this situation. So I hope that helps. But yeah, Spirit's really just encouraging you to write it down, to pop it out of your head, learning how to like breathe and how to kind of let go. So I'm just looking for where else. I'm drawn. All right, so Colleen Palmer would love to know about my future business. Okay. Wow. Okay, this is good. So what I'm feeling with you, Colleen, is I'm actually seeing, sometimes, I don't know if you guys get this, I definitely get it because I'm a bit ADD, but what I mean by that is I'll get distracted. It's like, oh, there's a shining flashing light out in the street, which there actually is right now. There's like a street cleaner. But then I'll be like, oh, look at that. There's like something shiny in the background. What I'm seeing with you, Colleen, is this when it comes to the future. And I'm feeling like nothing is touching around. So it's like a really, really clear path. So if there is something that you're talking about in terms of like future business or an idea or concept, I'm seeing it as don't share it too much with others, in that you want to keep it as your baby. You want to kind of like keep it in the bubble. Don't let too many cooks in the kitchen is what I'm also seeing. So let's flip this card. Yeah, so this is the card of cruelty. So how I was saying, like, keep that to yourself. This is like a representation of like what the guides are saying around this, and what Spirit is saying is just being careful with it. And we'll pick a card in the other side of my other deck, just sort of see what Spirit says around this business. Spiritual guidance. So really trusting spiritual guidance around it. It might even represent something that you want to ask more in depth about, because Spirit will be blocking me from talking about this in an open format, because they said be careful about sharing this idea. So it says ask for spiritual guidance and positive intervention from your guides and angels. And you can see that spiritual guidance kind of showering in this way. So I hope that that helps. But yeah, be careful about like how much you share. So let's have a look. So we've got Esha Mentha. I hope I'm saying your name right. It says hi from Dubai. Can I get a reading, please? All right. The first thing that I get when I connect in with your energy is I'm taken straight to third eye energy. So I'm seeing the Ajna chakra around the third eye, and I'm just seeing light. And the light is so strong and so blinding. They're talking about really using like your psychic senses and using like your intuitive ability a lot more. I feel like spirit's like tapping you on the shoulder. So I'm not sure whether you've been having some profound dreams at the moment or whether you're seeing things in a different light, but they're really talking about really starting to kind of like go with spirit trying to nudge you. Let's flip this card. Yeah, strength. So really focusing on like your strength and your kind of like vision. This sun also represents that source light, and we've got that inner kind of star spark that's coming in too. So there's a real spiritual awakening that you're stepping into at the moment. So putting things on your path that are going to help bring you more into alignment with that. So it might be getting your own tarot deck. It might be, lighting a candle and saying a prayer, or, meditation, all different things that you can do to kind of work with that third eye energy. The other thing you can do is ask spirit to bring you messages in ways that you can understand. That can also help. So I hope that that helps. But yeah, they're really encouraging you to work with third eye energy at the moment. Autumn Ray, you look and sound so familiar. Aw, thank you. Oh, thank you for sharing too. That's so sweet. I am on a few different channels on YouTube. I do speak predominantly on the spiritual topics, and I also speak a lot to do with spirit guides, ETs, UFOs, paranormal. I also teach a little bit to do with Kundalini activation, and talk about, I guess, like the light body and different spiritual techniques. So yeah, it could have been from somewhere around there. Phil, dude. All right, so we've got Haley Marie. Will I be moving next year? Let's have a look. All right, so I'm seeing spirit actually lay out 4 cards, and I'm seeing spirit come in and like pick cards and do a reading, and I'm seeing past, present, future, and then like more information around the future. So I feel that they're really showing me that there's a lot to do with coming into play, to do with moving. So it could be quite a long-winded answer, but we'll have a look. We'll ask if there's one card that they can give us to represent or sort of like sum up what's happening. Yeah, it's like there's not full information on it at the moment. I feel that a couple of other things have to fall into place. And sort of like, yeah, it's like timing. It's like different time slots, I'm hearing them say. Kind of looks like a Tetris puzzle falling into place. So we'll flip this card. Yeah. So we've got the card Indolence. So the beautiful golden cups. So we do have like the idea, and we're like putting out that wish and that desire to move. This at the moment feels like the world situation. So it could be like the whole lockdown situation just might be making it a little bit harder to move. So this could be a timing issue. I'm seeing that it's sort of like blocked on a spiritual level in some way too. So it could be more parts of the puzzle coming in to kind of like reconnect this essence. But looking at what you can sort of do in preparation in the meantime, I feel that Spirit's saying when you focus on that, it will help sort of like clear up pathways. So they're talking about preparing and getting ready. So I hope that that helps. All right, let's pick a card quickly for autumn. So I'm wondering about feeling to channel any insights, or beginning to channel, I think you might be saying. All right, so autumn. It's funny, Spirit's like autumn, autumn, autumn. They're just like singing your name. They're even talking about you being able to kind of like sing with your name, and this will unlock your vibration. This will help open you up to channel, is what I'm feeling when you start to work with your name and you start to work with that vibration. Let's pick this card for you to do with channel. So I'm seeing like purples and I'm sort of seeing like violet and indigo. It's actually quite beautiful. There's emerald that's coming in as well. And I feel that this is connected to ancient Egypt. So I feel that there was messages because I'm seeing like scribing and I'm seeing hieroglyphs and different things that you're connected to in that ancient Egyptian time. It was bringing through spiritual messages. The other thing that I'm actually seeing, which is quite beautiful, I'm seeing you as like a child, but a student in kind of like a sacred, it's like a tent where there's like a tent of knowledge or like what we would call a mystery school, which is quite cool. So I'm seeing that in ancient Egypt. Let's flip this card. Yeah, the hangman. Look at all this knowledge, this like spiritual kundalini energy, information, knowledge download that's coming out. So if we look at it upside down, it's what we would sort of like perceive as like channeling, like knowledge or kundalini energy falling into the head. This is about you delivering messages to other people, is what I feel with this. And I feel that it's really about bringing your heart into alignment with this, which is really exciting. Let me know how you go with that as well. Sending you lots of love, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I just realized that an hour has gone so quick. For anyone that's wanting a personal reading with me, we do one-on-one hour sessions and we look into aura drawings, we pick some cards, we have a chat with the guides, and we have plenty of time to ask questions one-on-one. So if there's anyone that would love a reading, my I guess booking system is on my website. It's set up in all of your time zones. So you just enter your time zones. Most of my clients are actually from overseas too, for those of you that are overseas wondering about time zones. So yeah, just sending you a lot of love and blessings for the coming week. And I hope to see you all here next week. Bye.